Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and this is Beyond 100 Days of Comics, and it is a program where I pretty much take up where I left off on my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. If you're not familiar with that, it's where for 100 days, we spend 30 minutes a day working on our own comic book project. So putting whatever else aside, 30 minutes, not a lot of time, but it does add up. So it's kind of, it's a good challenge to take if you've just got a lot going on and you're just not finding that time to make comics. So yeah, I took the challenge, went through the whole 100 days, and I imagine there's still a few people out there that are curious. If some people watch here or there or whatever, but some people probably watched all of them, and if you're that into it, I didn't want to just leave you hanging. I want to kind of give you some updates on what's going on with my comic. Which is called Young and the Dead. There's a few different versions online you can pick up. These are kind of the standard versions that you would probably buy at a comic book store or whatever. And then I've got artist editions, which are, they've got more of a personal touch to them. I put them all together, and they've got little fold-out covers and things like that. So those are all available at circworks.com. And so any of you guys are if this is the first one that you've seen, I should give you a little rundown on what the comic's about. It's kind of like a cross between The Goonies, one of my favorite shows, especially from when I was a kid, and Night of the Living Dead. So it's kids versus zombies. It's an adventure story, and it's a lot of fun. So what's been going on since the last update I did? I probably explained that I was pretty busy, which I still am, and I was really struggling to find those to get back in the swing of things and put in my 30 minutes a day on the comic book. But since then, I've been doing a little better. Not every day, but I have been, for the most part. I think maybe it has added up since the last video to about 30 minutes a day. So that's good. So yeah, I've this page that I'm working on right now is I'm taking a little different approach. And again, if you've been listening, I may have explained a little bit about my process and how when I first started doing comics, I would do all these different sketches, and then I'd scan them all in the computer, and I'd kind of make a collage and organize all my panels and everything. All the stuff that is very easy to do with digital. I mean, you can take a digital file and draw one thing and just cut and paste and all that stuff. Not so easy to do when you're doing traditional or analog, when you're going that route. But I'm working on this page right now that's a little different, and it's got me thinking again more and more about going digital, because what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to recreate in a comic book format kind of a montage. So it is different people doing different things, and I started, I took out my regular 11 by 17 comic book panel page and started sketching everything out, and it's like, nah. I said, this might benefit. It's just not going together the way I want it. I'm seeing the individual pieces, but I'm not seeing the whole vision come together. So I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity to do each as a little vignette, and then take it all in the computer and arrange it and everything. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Let's see. My mind is wandering a little bit today. It's early today. I actually just kind of woke up, and I want to get this video out. Yeah, so lately I've been thinking again more and more about digital, and a friend of mine who it's kind of, I was really surprised, because I have this friend, Daniel Davis, who has a company called Steam Crow, and he's one of these guys that, and I don't know too many people out there, but I always teased him about this, because he illustrated everything with his mouse, and to me that's just like drawing a brick. But he posted on Facebook or whatever that he's getting like a drawing tablet, a drawing screen. I don't know what the difference is. A drawing tablet could be anything, I guess. A screen monitor, I guess. Is that a drawing monitor or whatever you call them? Like a Cintiq, but not a Cintiq, like an off-brand. And I was just like, wow, that's a big departure. And of like, if going from the mouse to actually drawing on the screen, it's just got to be a whole different things. I'm used to drawing just on my little Wacom tablet, so there's a little disconnect. I'm used to it, but I've really been thinking more about, you know, getting that, you know, I want to start working in Manga Studio and get the latest version of that software and everything. But I really think if I'm going to do it, I want to also switch to like a drawing tablet, a monitor, whatever you call them. But you know, Cintiqs are pretty expensive, and I know there's a tablet out there, the Winova, and I don't remember some numbers after it or whatever. You can look it up. I'm sure I'll put a link to it or whatever. And it was getting a lot of good reviews. And then if you know anything about this 100 Days of Comics Making Comics challenge, you're probably familiar with Kevin Cross, and he's got one, and I guess he hasn't had the best of luck with his, but he admits that a lot of other people love this tablet monitor. So you know, I'm thinking, do I want to invest? I mean, I could, you know, I got a credit card. I don't really like to use it, but other than for emergencies and things like that. But I could get a Cintiq and put it on a credit card. And from everyone that I've heard of, said it's like the best investment they've made. You know, if you know, they never, no one regrets it, and that it pays for itself and everything. So I mean, that's a route. It just, yeah, I don't like having that kind of money hovering over me. So if I could maybe make a pretty big down payment on one, I mean, that's an option. But then I hear about these other tablets. There's a Unova, and then there's a Monoprice one that right now, I guess over Christmas time, or at least right now, I think it's like around $300. And I'm like, and I saw that, I'm like, oh, this can't be any good. I mean, $300 versus, you know, $2,300. I mean, it's like, you know, that's like night and day. And obviously there's going to be a way difference in the quality, but you know, I don't know. But then I started to listen to this, and any of you guys are familiar with Ray Frienden. He does a lot of reviews on tablets and all kinds of things like that, and he designs brushes for, you know, for Manga Studio, Photoshop, and all these different things. But so I was listening to some of his reviews, and he reviewed this Monoprice one, and he pretty much gave it a better review than the Winova, which surprised me. But then I've heard other things that and this wasn't confirmed or anything. I'll have to do more research, but somebody said they weren't sure if you could have more than one monitor set up on this Monoprice, which I've got 2 other monitors, which I take advantage of all the time. So I don't want to lose that. So, and so I don't know if you guys work on any of these things or have more information about it than I do, please let me know, because I'm really starting to consider it. And you know, it'd be great to have a Cintiq, and I know I you know, obviously I know it's heads above the rest of them, but you know, I just don't know, you know, if the money, if it's worth it, you know, I don't know. There's you know, everyone says that the Cintiq is the Cadillac of you know, these drawing tablets, which you know, it is, but you know, I don't drive a Cadillac, so I'm perfectly fine with my Hyundai. So I would probably be perfectly fine with one of these lower ones and not have that debt, you know. So but again, it's, you know, I also want to look at it as investment and everything. So, but maybe it's at $300. If this Monoprice one is a decent alternative, then you know, maybe work on that for a while, and then if I decide I want to upgrade, you know, I can think about it then. And so anyway, that's kind of what's going on as far as what I'm thinking about. And I've probably brought this stuff up before, but it's recently that I've done a little more research on it and everything, and I'm thinking about maybe pulling the trigger. There's a lot of sales around Christmas. I've got some work, so I have some money coming in. Of course, Christmas is coming up, and I've got 3 kids, and that stuff runs into some money. So I'll just kind of have to see what my budget is, and all that. And so hopefully soon I'll, you know, maybe make that switch to digital. But for now, like I was saying, I've been doing this sort of montage page, and I'm going back to a little bit of my old way of doing things, where I do like a panel and take it in the computer. So I'll show you what I've done so far, some of the time I've spent since the last time we talked. These are like the individual little panel vignette things that I'm going to put. And the idea is the kids in my story they're in a garage, there's zombies out, you know, out and about, you know, waiting to eat their brains and all that stuff. And so they're pretty much taking advantage of anything that's in this garage and trying to build an escape plan. And so that's kind of the montage sequence. So we've got my character Lloyd here, sans glasses. He usually wears glasses, but the style of glasses that he does, I've got those. I do have digitally, and I just kind of drop them in because it's hard to, you know, different angles and everything. I mean, I can do it, but it's easier just to throw those in. So a lot of times when you see on the page, unless it's something that I just put in, sometimes I'll draw the glasses and then I'll just erase them in Photoshop and then do the digital ones because they're a little more accurate. But anyway, so this is my character Lloyd, and he's working on something to do with like a remote control rocket. And then I've got another of my character Stephanie, who's ripping off a piece of duct tape, and she's taping a lawn dart to this all takes place in the 80s, so back when lawn darts weren't illegal. She's taping it to a stick, you know. And then this one I haven't inked yet, but another character messing around with a remote control car. This is my character Mitch. So yeah, so each one of these characters are kind of building their own thing, and then that's gonna lead into kind of this, like I said, their escape plan. So yeah, so I'm happy that I've got back into working on the comic, and wish I had more time, but I've got a lot of other stuff to do. So yeah, that's probably, I guess that's about it. Let me give you an update on what else is going on with the show that I've teased before, and other things on my channel. I've got that video all ready to go for the kind of what I did for the Halloween haunt, and it's getting further and further away, and I'm getting bummed out. So the only thing I'm waiting on is some videos from a friend of mine's brother who took some videos, and he was supposed to drop the CD off with the files to my friend, and you know, my friend's you know, he's kind of a procrastinator, you know, that type. But it's, you know, just organizing all that's kind of a problem. So I'm probably gonna have to call his brother and see if I can just go pick it up, because I want to get this thing out, and I want to have constantly new stuff coming out on my channel. So, and that's the reason why I'm doing these as well. In the meantime, well, until, you know, not until I start this new video series, because I still want to update. Still want to do these as updates. But yeah, as far as the kind of the drawing video series, the CircWorks themed series that I'm working on, I haven't done anything yet for the intro. That's going to be a big undertaking. Still shooting for kind of first of the year around then to get all this stuff done and ready. But I have this weekend I did work on the sets. I was out in my garage. My daughter was doing a lemonade stand. She's been wanting to do one of these for a while, and I told her, you know, if she just sits out in front of my yard, there's not going to be that many people wanting to buy lemonade. So I said, why don't you wait till you know, like, there's a garage sale in the neighborhood where you got some traffic and people have some signs, and, you know, I'll make some signs for you too, and we'll put them up and everything. So it was supposed to be this big community garage sale, and long story short, hardly anyone did it. There were some signs, so, but yeah, I made some signs, and she got a lot of traffic, and she and my niece together earned about, just from selling lemonade for 50 cents, they earned about $42. So between the two of them, yeah, that's about $22 for 10-year-old girls. Not a bad way to go. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they would just give them $5 and say keep the change, or, you know, she had some other stuff. She was selling also lemon heads and some bottled water and some other stuff like that. But yeah, she's doing pretty good. So I'm hoping that start her on. She's kind of got that entrepreneurial spirit, which I want to definitely encourage. So you know, when I'm old, and because I'm a starving artist do freelance and don't have any retirement money come in, maybe she could support me. But anyway, so yeah, so while she was working on that lemonade stand, I was in the garage painting some more props, and I might share those with you as part of another one of these Mad Props episode. I'm getting further and further along, and I should have probably recorded my process along the way, but I haven't really done that. But you know, I'm sure I could just kind of show you what I'm working on as an episode. But yeah, it's kind of like an underground lair theme, so I'm working on these mountains, and it's kind of got a factory vibe to it. So I'm using some of the stuff from my booth design, and anyway, it should be fun. It should look fun, and then I got to get on that like a video intro to this thing, and then hopefully start doing some of these new episodes. And then, of course, still on the back burner is my plans to do Young and the Dead as a webcomic. I've made some progress on that, but still got to get back to those. So those are all things that are on my to-do list, and whenever I have free time, aside from all this other contract work, then yeah, I'm working on it a little bit here and there. So it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm happy with the progress. Happy to be busy. Happy to be sharing all this with any of you who actually care, and some of you do, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all the likes and comments and everything. And you know, it's still beginning this thing, so you know, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so if you think you might know anyone who's interested in this kind of thing, and I think it's going to start to pick up once I do some of this other content, because this isn't for everyone, and the other stuff I'm going to be doing, I think will reach kind of a broader audience. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see if next year, we're getting close to the end of the year, and I really want to, you know, make a go at building this channel up a little more and giving you guys some cool stuff. So I'm watching a bunch of other videos of people who are really successful at this YouTube thing and trying to take some cues of what things that they're doing and everything. And so we'll see what happens coming up in the year to come. But I'm going to wrap it up for today. And again, thanks for subscribing, commenting, liking, and really do appreciate it. And until then, I'll see you guys later, and that is all.